Bed. Down. So as he enters this area and sits down on his bed, you can cue him to down. Then what you can end up doing... Come here, handsome. Bed. What do you point to it too? And you can wait him out until he lays down himself. You basically just try to start to incorporate a lot of treats in these different positions. So the only places these three dogs gets treats... Buckeye, come here. Buckeye can have a little bit more of a lax time as you can get yours here. You wait him out until he lays down, and Buckeye gets his here. And while you're standing here, you can just keep going around the merry-go-round of giving each dog a treat. If you really want, I believe it's Pippa, to lay down, you start just feeding her down low, and she should start to lay down. And she'll stay like that. So the contingency of getting a treat, especially for Bob, is to be laying down. Buckeye can do as he pleases. Now, if Bobby does pop up from a down, you just wait him out without even saying a single word. When he does lay back down again, the party train can begin. Now, how you treat them can definitely vary. You can go from the little miss to Bobby to Buck and back again. Or as Bobby starts to get better, you can skip him occasionally, starting to build up his endurance so he doesn't need to get reinforced every single moment. But the rate in which he needs to get these treats right now is going to be a pretty high rate. So in between each dog, he should pretty much get a treat. Which, if you add 2 dogs between him getting treats, it may then prompt him to get up. Now, if he's in the Sphinx position, and if you want him to rotate on one or the other hip, depending on whichever one is better, you just place the treat closer to the opposite ribs, and he's going to rock onto that one hip. Personally, I think this is a much more relaxed down position. So I can incorporate giving him treats near his ribs, like over here, so that he is more prone to plopping down onto that hip. So once you've given them a bunch of treats like this, Oh, you missed it, you missed it. Oh, he got it. You can then reset up by just walking into the kitchen. And back to the whole song and dance again. So as you're approaching bed, everybody gets into position and you start feeding. As they start to get better and better about this, you can then start to incorporate knocking on the door, opening up the door, things like that. But right now what you want to establish is kind of like a dance move, a pattern of events. That once we walk into this room, they all have their placements and where they go. You, sir, need to come over here. You got it, right? Yeah. So again, if he pops up into a sit, you just wait him out. Rotated by the rib. Here, I'll show you the other way. And he plops over the other one. So you can kind of keep a track of which hip he favors. Again, with her, you can either have a sit, or if you want, constantly keep treating her only in a lower treat placement, and she'll start to lay down. That's why with Bobby here, always treating on the ground. With Buck, if you want to treat on the ground, he will start to lay down too. You would want to bend your body a little bit just so that you're not offering him a treat without bending my back, because then he's going to be more prone to sit up from the down. Free. Bed. So he popped up when I put my hand in the treat bag. I got a treat out, but I'm waiting for him again. And since he is pretty much maybe 50% off of the bed, if I'm going to treat him, I treat him back onto the bed to get his body back there. So he starts doing that. You could just reset entirely. Bed. If he does that, you can redirect him back by pointing. Bed. Again, then giving him a treat. Pippa. So again, that was pointing. The reason I don't want to keep saying DOWN to him, so I don't want this to be a type of superstitious chain where he sits up to make you say down, then when he downs, you give him a cookie. So if it's taking too long for him to get a cookie, From Bobby's perspective, hey, it's taking too long to get a cookie. I'm going to sit up. Dad is going to tell me to down. I'm going to down. I'm going to get a cookie. I want him to think that he only gets treats if he's laying down. That sitting in this location and in this context is pointless. The other two, they can really do whatever they want. But if you want to also establish that rule, you can do that as well. So at the very beginning, when we're training this behavior, so in that instance, I had my hand covered, and until she laid down, that's when I opened it up. There we go. That's brilliance right there. Rather than just laying down... Oh, spoke a little too soon. Rather than just laying down next to Buck, he actually backed up and laid down onto the mat. So that's why, too, I want there to be a contrast on the floor, or a big contrast from the floor and on his bed, so that he actually knows and starts to understand that it's not just downing in this entrance area, but it's actually downing on a very specific object. And when he does that, that's when he starts to receive treats. I know it's been too long, I'm sorry. There you go. Free. Bed. So if he lays down like that, you could redirect him to the bed by pointing. Bed. And then start treating. So my hand is closed, she's fully down, and then it opens. There you go, boy.